A man vanished from a locked hotel room, leaving behind only a cryptic note and a mystery that defies all logic. Imagine a world where the evidence is overwhelming, the clues are laid bare, and yet the truth remains perpetually out of reach. A world where people vanish from the face of the earth, not in the wilderness but in the middle of bustling cities. Where objects appear and disappear with no explanation, and where the most meticulous crimes leave behind everything but an identity. This is not the plot of a thriller. This is the unsettling reality of the modern era, a time of unprecedented surveillance and connectivity that has, paradoxically, given birth to a new generation of profound and chilling mysteries. Consider the case that shattered the quiet community of Saanich, British Columbia. In January 2008, 24-year-old real estate agent Lindsay Buziak arrived at a show home, lured by a call from a mysterious couple seeking $1 million property. Feeling a prickle of unease, she had asked her boyfriend to check on her. It was a simple, smart precaution. When he arrived, the house was locked. Upon forcing his way inside, he discovered a scene of horrific violence. Lindsay had been stabbed over 40 times in an upstairs bedroom. Killers had planned with cold precision, using untraceable burner phones to set the meeting, targeting a vacant house, and executing their plan without a single witness. Despite this, they left behind almost no physical evidence. They vanished into the afternoon, leaving behind a grieving family and a haunting question. Who were they, and why was Lindsay, a young woman with no known enemies, the target of such a brutally orchestrated murder? The very deliberateness of the act, its clinical nature, suggests a motive far darker than random violence, a motive that remains locked away perhaps forever. This theme of brazen acts in the digital age is echoed chillingly across the Pacific, in a Tokyo suburb. The Setagaya family massacre of December 2000 is a case that defies all logic of criminal behavior. After brutally murdering the Miyazawa family, a mother, father, and their 2 young children, the killer did not flee. Instead, they remained in the house for hours. They ate ice cream from the family's freezer, drank their barley tea, used their computer to browse the internet, and even took a nap on their sofa. The intruder left a staggering trail of evidence: their DNA, fingerprints, the murder weapon, clothing stained with their own blood, and even their personal belongings, including sand from a specific military base. With such a forensic treasure trove, an arrest seemed inevitable. Yet over 2 decades later, the killer's identity is unknown. It is as if a ghost committed one of Japan's most notorious crimes, a ghost who felt comfortable enough to linger, to inhabit the space of their atrocity, before melting back into the world utterly unseen. Sometimes the mystery isn't a who, but a what and a why that descend from the skies. In the days before Christmas 2018, London's Gatwick Airport, Britain's second busiest, descended into utter chaos. Reports flooded in of drones, small unmanned aircraft, flying dangerously close to the runway. The response was massive. The airport was shut down, the military was deployed with anti-drone technology, and over 100,000 passengers had their travel plans ruined in a 3-day ordeal that captured global headlines. A major police hunt ensued for the reckless operators. But here's the twist: no operator was ever found. More perplexingly, despite thousands of witnesses and a sky under intense scrutiny, no clear, definitive photographic or radar evidence of the drones was ever produced. The event forced a troubling question. Was this a sophisticated, malicious attack that evaded all detection, or a bizarre cascade of misidentification and mass panic, a modern myth born from fear and played out on a grand, disruptive scale? Our skies hold deeper, older mysteries still. In 2017, astronomers in Hawaii spotted an object hurtling through our solar system on a trajectory that could only mean one thing: it came from out there. It was the first confirmed interstellar visitor, named Oumuamua, Hawaiian for scout. Its shape was bizarre, a flattened, elongated cigar unlike any natural asteroid or comet we'd seen. But its most confounding behavior was its acceleration. As it slingshotted around the sun, it sped up slightly as if pushed. While most scientists attribute this to outgassing, like a comet's jet, the lack of a visible coma of dust and gas made it an outlier. This anomaly led to a tantalizing, if speculative, theory from respected astronomers. Could Oumuamua's acceleration and shape be signs of artificial origin? A derelict light sail from another civilization? The very possibility forces us to confront the idea that our first contact with another star system may not have been a signal, but a piece of silent, ancient wreckage, tumbling past our planet before disappearing forever into the dark. Back on Earth, mysteries can be planted firmly in the ground, only to be violently erased. For over 40 years, the Georgia Guidestones stood in a rural field in Elbert County, a granite monument often called America's Stonehenge. Erected in 1980 by a man using the pseudonym R.C. Christian, its slabs were inscribed with 10 guidelines for humanity in 8 languages, meant to guide survivors of a potential apocalypse. It was a cryptic, grandiose project that naturally became a magnet for conspiracy theories. Then, in the early hours of July 6, 2022, surveillance video captured a massive explosion that shattered one of the massive panels. A silver sedan was seen speeding away. The unknown bomber had not just destroyed stone, they had destroyed a puzzle. Was it an act of ideological violence against what some saw as a satanic monument, a strike against anonymous globalist control, or simply vandalism on a monumental scale? The perpetrator, like the original sponsor, remains a ghost, leaving behind only rubble and amplified mystery. This era's enigmas are not always grand or violent. Sometimes, they are quiet, personal disappearances that defy all reason. On a September morning in 2007, 14-year-old Andrew Garston, a gifted student with a perfect attendance record, left his home in Doncaster, England. He told his parents he was walking to school, but instead, he withdrew £200 from his bank account, bought a one-way train ticket to London and vanished. CCTV captured him leaving King's Cross Station, a small figure absorbed by the city's rush. He left his PSP charger behind, suggesting an intention to return. He told no one of his plans, showed no signs of distress. Did he, a quiet fan of alternative music, travel to the city for a concert? Was he meeting someone he'd connected with online? Every logical avenue has led to a dead end. Andrew's case is a haunting testament to how a person can simply step out of the frame of their own life, leaving behind a silence that is deafening in its completeness. Finally, consider the mystery that plays out not in shadow, but in broad daylight, captured on camera for all to see. On a January morning in 2019, 29-year-old Elizabeth Barraza was setting up a garage sale in the driveway of her Texas home. A dark pickup truck pulled up. Surveillance footage shows a figure in what appears to be a costume, a robe, a wig, perhaps a Star Wars helmet, step out. The person walks calmly up the driveway, exchanges a few words with Elizabeth, raises a gun, and shoots her point blank. They then walk back to the truck and drive away. The entire execution takes seconds. The killer is disguised, the vehicle is identifiable, the act is captured from multiple angles. And yet, with all this evidence, the case remains unsolved. Who was beneath that costume? What were the few fatal words spoken? The video does not provide answers. It only deepens the horror, proving that in our modern era, even when the act is recorded, the motive and the identity can remain as obscured as if it happened in the darkest night. These are but a handful of the stories that define the unsettling character of our time. They are not dusty legends from a pre-digital age, but fresh wounds in our collective understanding. They remind us that for all our cameras, our DNA databases, our global connectivity, there are still voids that knowledge cannot fill, shadows that light cannot touch. They are the chilling signatures of the modern era, mysteries not of absence but of presence, witnessed and recorded, yet forever unexplained. They linger unanswered, whispering that the map of the known world still has its blank spaces, and some of them are right in our own backyard. And so we are left to navigate a landscape where the very tools we built for clarity, the lens, the sensor, the network, sometimes only serve to sharpen the silhouette of the unknown. This paradox defines our age, a hyper-documented obscurity. We have moved beyond the era of simply missing clues. We now live in the era of the uninterpretable clue, the evidence that marks us with its presence. Take the digital phantom, a new breed of absence. In 2012, 15-year-old Lee Roberts set out on a cross-country journey of self-discovery. A Jeep was found wrecked and abandoned off a remote North Carolina forest road, its interior eerily staged with her belongings. But the true modern mystery lies in her laptop. After her disappearance, someone or something logged into her email account multiple times. Each login originated from a different public library computer, each session meticulously scrubbed of forensic traces. Was it lay hiding in plain sight, a predator covering their tracks, or an automated system, a glitch in the matrix, creating a cruel digital ghost story?